Welcome to my empirical article presentation. The article I used was Using Evidence-Based Multimedia to Improve Vocabulary Performance of Adolescents with Learning Disabilities, a Universal Design for Learning Approach. The focus of the research was to answer the question, how much can the vocabulary of adolescents with and without learning disabilities improve when taught using content acquisition podcasts, or CAPs, versus when they are not used? By asking this question, researchers hope to provide more peer-reviewed empirical data showing how universal learning design, which guides the creation of instruction to support all students, can be combined with Mayer's multimedia principles and evidence-based instruction to be effective in providing individualized instruction to benefit students with learning disabilities. Researchers also hope to provide a new multimedia design framework, or MDF, for teachers to create, select, and evaluate multimedia-like CAPs so that they are appropriate and effective when used in teaching students with learning disabilities. CAPs are audiovisual presentations that are 1 to 3 minutes in length to avoid cognitive overload. Instead of just providing a word and a definition, CAPs uses Mayer's principles to provide vivid images and simple text to help the learner create meaningful representations of the vocabulary and explain why the words are important. Researchers chose a social studies teacher nicknamed Mr. Awesome to provide 141 10th grade urban high school students 8 weeks of instruction in 2 concurrent units of world history, Renaissance and Revolutions, and Exploration and Expansion. Of these students, 32 had some form of learning disability related to reading, while 109 did not and were considered general education students. Students were randomly assigned to 5 sections with students with disabilities evenly distributed in each section. 2 sections received 4 weeks of instruction in the Renaissance and Revolutions unit with CAPS instruction, while the other 3 sections received 4 weeks of the Exploration and Expansion unit without CAPS instruction. At the end of the 4 weeks, the situation was reversed. The procedure included pre-tests the day before each 4-week period of instruction. During the 4 weeks, students with CAPS instruction were shown each CAP presentation twice, and students with learning disabilities watched each CAP presentation 2 more times in their study skills period. Students in the non-CAP sections received regular PowerPoint instruction with words and definitions. At the end of each week, students received curriculum-based measurement, or CBM quizzes, to keep track of their progress. At the end of the 4 weeks, students were given a post-test for the entire unit. Researchers found that students with learning disabilities who used CAPs had higher weekly CBM quiz scores and significantly outscored other students with learning disabilities in PowerPoint instruction on post-test. The same was found for general education students in CAPs instruction compared to general education students in PowerPoint instruction. Although general education students using CAPs still outperformed students with learning disabilities using CAPs, the students with learning disabilities who were taught using CAPs closed the educational gap on general education students receiving PowerPoint instruction. Some implications for practice included the need for future research using CAPs for a longer period of time in a larger sample of students across more high schools. Additionally, since the CAPs used in this study were created by researchers, further studies are needed in order to ensure that teachers are able to create their own CAPs in order to make this type of instruction accessible to students with learning disabilities in all types of classes. Future research could also explore ways that the students could be taught to create their own CAPs in order to become goal-directed learners. By combining the broad nature of universal learning design with specific principles provided by Mayer and evidence-based practices using multimedia design framework, researchers were able to create multimedia design that successfully delivered instruction to assist students with disabilities in learning vocabulary. Currently, individualized instruction for students with learning disabilities is extremely limited in high school education. This study and the introduction of CAPs using Mayer's principles, universal learning design, and evidence-based practices through the multimedia design framework shows that it is possible to provide equitable and accessible learning opportunities to a marginalized population of students. Thank you for watching my presentation. Have a great day.